Ever get that feeling like you just don't fit in? Like your brain's on a different wavelength?
Totally. Like you're the one at the party, lost in thought while everyone else is like small talk and stuff.
Exactly. Or more fascinated by like a deep dive into astrophysics than the latest celebrity gossip.
Huh. Yeah.
Well, get ready to dive deep, folks, because today we're exploring why some of history's brightest minds, they actually seem to prefer being alone.
It's pretty wild when you think about it.
We'll be looking at it through the lens of this philosopher who had some, let's say, strong opinions on the matter.
Definitely a thinker who didn't hold back.
So this idea that, like, the absent-minded genius,
Yeah.
it's almost cliche at this point.
Oh, absolutely. Like the professor who walks into a lamppost because they're so deep in thought.
But is there, like, actual truth to this link between brilliance and, preferring solitude?
Well, one theory is that highly intelligent people, they kind of see the world from a different viewpoint.
Different how?
Some call it a bird's eye view. Like, imagine you're looking down at a city from way up high.
Okay, I can picture that.
You see all the traffic patterns, the people moving, how everything's connected, right?
Yeah.
Geniuses, they operate kind of like that. They're always seeing the bigger picture, connecting the dots that most folks miss.
So while everyone else is caught up in the daily grind,
The genius is pondering life, the universe, the whole shebang.
makes you wonder what they're thinking sometimes, right?
And it's not that one perspective is better, just that this bird's eye view, well, it can make it hard to relate to folks focused on the day-to-day.
Yeah, like trying to explain, I don't know, a complex math equation to someone who just sees numbers.
Perfect example. They might not get the beauty of it, the implications.
Right, and that disconnect, I imagine that can be isolating.
Oh, for sure. It can lead to feeling frustrated, like out of place. Imagine you're at a party trying to discuss AI ethics,
Deep stuff.
and everyone's giving you blank stares. It's disheartening.
I get it.
Yeah.
You're excited to share these ideas, but nobody's on the same wavelength.
Exactly. And that's why, historically, many brilliant minds, they found comfort in solitude.
They needed that space to explore their thoughts without distraction.
To delve into their passions without pressure to, conform to social norms.
I can see the appeal of that. Just quiet, time to think.
Yeah, that quiet space to recharge.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean they're antisocial, incapable of connecting.
No, of course not.
Just maybe more selective about who they spend time with, what kind of interactions give them that spark.
It's not that they can't be social, right? It's like they're just, I don't know, wired a bit differently.
Exactly. There's that saying, right? If you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree.
He'll spend his whole life thinking it's stupid.
Yeah. Geniuses, they might be amazing at abstract thinking, problem solving, but
Social cues. Small talk, not so much.
could be a struggle. And, it makes sense when you think about it.
I've definitely had those moments. So focused on something, I totally space out on what someone's saying.
Happens to the best of us.
It's not that I'm not interested, just my brain's off on a tangent.
Your brain's prioritizing. Think of it this way. If your mind's always working on complex stuff,
Yeah.
maybe there's not as much energy left for, processing all the social niceties.
Like a computer with limited RAM or something.
Perfect analogy. And that's why, to some people, those with the bird's eye view, they might seem...
Aloof. A little insensitive.
Sometimes, yeah. It's not intentional, though, right? Just how their brains are focused.
So how do we bridge that gap? Us non-geniuses, I mean.
Honestly, it starts with just recognizing those differences, respecting them.
Not judging a fish for not climbing trees.
Exactly. Someone doesn't share our interests, doesn't get social cues the same way, doesn't make them less valuable.
Like appreciating art, right. Even if you don't get the technique, you can still see the beauty.
Absolutely. And with time, with exposure, you start to understand more.
So the more we interact with folks who think differently,
The more we learn to appreciate their perspective.
instead of getting frustrated when someone misses a cue, zones out.
We can see it as a sign that their mind's just, engaged elsewhere, maybe on something deeper.
Like processing the universe while we're chatting about the weather.
Could be. And honestly, engaging with those different thinkers, it's enriching.
Challenges our assumptions, makes us think outside the box.
Like adding a new spice to your favorite dish.
Ooh, I like that.
Might taste different at first, but it enhances the whole experience.
So ultimately, it's about embracing that diversity of thought.
Everyone's got something unique to offer, even if it comes in a unexpected package.
Okay, so we've covered how some folks just think differently, see the world from another angle.
Like they're playing a whole different game
Right,
with its own rules and goals.
exactly. But how do we bridge that gap? Connect with them, even if their, interests and thoughts seem so different from ours.
One powerful tool is simply curiosity.
Curiosity.
Yeah. Instead of dismissing someone because they seem, I don't know, aloof or too intellectual,
Right.
try asking them questions about what they're into, what fascinates them, what problems they're tackling.
Makes sense.
You might be surprised by how deep their thinking is, even if it's a field you know nothing about.
It's like stepping into a whole new world.
Yeah.
Right? Seeing things from a totally fresh perspective.
Exactly. And that curiosity can lead to genuine connection, even if you don't share those exact interests.
So it's less about shared hobbies, more about the shared, desire to learn.
When you show genuine interest in someone's passions, you're validating them, creating a space for real dialogue.
It's not about changing them or making them conform to our way of thinking.
No way.
It's about meeting them where they are, appreciating their unique gifts, I guess.
I like that, gifts. And that appreciation goes a long way in bridging the gap between those lost in thought and those more, grounded in everyday life.
It's recognizing that both perspectives have value.
Absolutely.
That we can learn from each other if we're open to it. It's like two heads are better than one, right?
Even if those heads are thinking in totally different ways, the combo can lead to new insights, solutions neither could have reached alone.
Makes you wonder what we're missing out on by not connecting more with those who think differently.
And remember, even geniuses need connection, support.
They might not express it the same way.
But they still want understanding, validation, just like everyone else.
So next time you meet someone who seems a bit different, a bit lost in their own world, reach out with that curiosity, with empathy. You might just find a brilliant mind, a kindred spirit waiting to connect.
And who knows, maybe that connection sparks a new idea, a collaboration, even a friendship, one that enriches both your lives in ways you'd never expect.
I like that thought a lot. Well, to all our listeners, our fellow deep divers out there,
To those who love to explore ideas,
embrace that diversity of thought. Nurture your own curiosity. And never be afraid to connect with those who see the world a little differently.
because you never know what incredible discoveries await.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, everyone. And until next time, keep those minds curious.